Hey everyone, this is Karen Waxman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about selling Nordstrom. So if you have a great product, perfect for their stores or their website, this little training will give you some things to think about in regards to selling to them. With that said, let's get started on today's training.
Today I want to talk about getting your product sold at Nordstrom's. Now, the reason I decided to create this particular segment is because people always ask me, Karen, how do I get my products into these retail stores? And sometimes they have very specific products, like they have fashion products or apparel products and so forth. And so they're more interested in kind of Nordstrom and other retailers like that, department stores such as Nordstrom. So I want to talk to you about that today and really give you some inspiration and some things to think about when you're trying to get your products into a retailer such as Nordstrom. So let's talk about Nordstrom. So I think the biggest thing that I can think of in regards to Nordstrom that is different from the other retailers is that Nordstrom works on a regional buying level. And that's different than a lot of the other stores. And so I think it's really important to mention that today. Let me explain. So when you are trying to sell to a big chain store, I don't know, like a Neiman Marcus or like any other kind of big chain, what they typically do is they have one buyer who buys a product type for all of their stores. If you have an apparel product for women, they typically have an apparel women buyer who buys for all of Neiman Marcus's stores. That's typically how it works. And that works with Walmart and all the other major retailers. They usually have one buyer who buys products for all of their stores. And so the trick is to figure out which buyer buys your product. And so I actually teach that in my course and so forth. But anyways, back to this discussion, Nordstrom is a little bit interesting in that they have regional buying offices. And so why is that interesting to you? So what happens is if you're trying to sell to a major retailer and there's only one buyer who buys your particular product type, what happens if that buyer says no to you? You don't really have the option of moving forward until that buyer goes away or I have other strategies in my course and so forth to explain what to do in that scenario. But typically, if one buyer is saying no to you, that kind of door is closed until you find another avenue or another buyer shows up. Nordstrom is a little bit different because they have buyers who buy for every region for their stores. So I think there's a Northwest region, there's like there's several different regions that they broke it down into. So they don't have one buyer who buys for all their stores. They have one buyer who buys for one specific region, probably 10, 20 or more stores, something like that. So what does that mean for you? You're trying to sell Nordstrom, you can reach out to each of the regional buyers and reach out to them about your particular product type. And so one could say no to you and one could say yes to you. And that's how it works with retail. Maybe one buyer doesn't have budget for your product, but another retailer, like at another Nordstrom in another division, might actually have some buying ability and can test out your product. So it's cool in that you don't have to worry about one buyer just shutting you down and you not being able to work with them. In Nordstrom's scenario, there's different buyers who you can sell to. Now in my Retail MBA course, you can actually learn about how there are other buyers who you can potentially sell to within retailers, not just the ones that you think about. And I have all these strategies because I used to sell millions of units of products to these major stores, and that's what I do. So anyways, I hope that provided value for you. Nordstrom has regional buying offices. If you reach out to them on a regional level, you can conceivably work with 5 different potential buyers or more to try and get your products in stores, which really helps you grow your business. And anyways, I hope that helps. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to get your products into Nordstrom's or other department stores, please take a look at my Retail MBA Training Program. The link for that for Retail MBA is listed below. It is the most comprehensive course available today on exactly how to approach and sell and prepare your product for major retailers such as Nordstrom. Regardless, I hope this helped, and please be on the lookout for the additional training videos I've done on the different retailers, because I'm doing this often to really support you in all the different types of retailers so that you can really think about how to get your products into stores, just really trying to provide value. Anyways, thanks so much, and I truly wish you the best.